il Managing Director del Tanger Med Port Authority, che ci racconta, anche a lei però non faccio sconti dei tempi. You have 10 minutes as the others. Also if I want to listen to you. Un applauso.
Grazie mille.
Grazie a lei. Afwan.
Before I start, I just would like to pay a vibrant tribute to the late Mrs. Cecilia Battistello, whom we consider as one of the godmothers and defenders of Tanger Med, and for whom we will always have a special feeling and tenderness. So I want to start with that. This doesn't count in 10 minutes.
No, it counts. I'm not so bad, really.
Okay.
Trust me.
Let's try all of them. And the popping. It's okay. I think it's gone. Yeah.
Okay, we can start from here, from now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, my name is Hassan Abkari. I'm a Managing Director and CEO of Tanger Med Port Authority. I would like to present the port today from the point of view of African Gateway. So some figures. No, it doesn't work again, but.
I think we are trying to. C'è un problema di regia, non va sullo schermo, ragazzi.
Anyway, I can do without. It's okay, fine. So Tanger Med is an integrated infrastructure strategically positioned on the Strait of Gibraltar at the crossroad of major shipping lanes at the doorstep of Europe. We started building in 2004. This project is the result of the vision of His Majesty the King, Mohammed VI. And it's a port that is encompassing not only the port infrastructure, but including also the activity zones and the connecting infrastructures, mean railway and highway. We started from scratch this project. It's a greenfield one, and we managed to reach by last year to 8.6 million TEUs, 20 equivalent unit containers. This was before, of course, the issues we are living today in the Red Sea, and also before the application of the carbon tax that started from last January. The port also achieved a total tonnage of 120 million tons, 10 million tons of hydrocarbons, and also 2.7 million passengers. This is a very important figure, the 2.7 million passengers, because we are living in Morocco a kind of very particular situation with a lot of people traveling to the country during the summer season and getting back in just 2 months. We are achieving a figure of 2 million. So we have to deal with some volumes that can reach 50,000 passengers per day and 10,000 cars. Why I'm stressing this, it's because Tanger Med is today a real bridge between Europe and Africa, because we managed to organize up to 48 departures per day, 1 departure every half an hour. It's 14 kilometers. These vessels can carry up 300 cars at one time. So you have 600 cars on 14 kilometers every hour. It's a car every 25 meters. So it's a real bridge between Spain and Morocco, so between Africa and Europe. Of course, these vessels can carry also trucks. This is why you see a figure here of something like 500,000 trucks. We started with 120,000 to 2010 when this terminal had been commissioned. And today we just managed to raise this volume to 500,000. And this translates the capacity of Tanger Med to develop the hinterland of the port, exporting some products that are just manufactured around the port. I'm speaking about automotive business, about, of course, agricultural products and also speaking about textile. Since we are at a very short distance from Europe, this major infrastructure, talking about the Ro-Ro passenger port, helps develop the area as a logistics hub for Western Europe, speaking about something like 600 million inhabitants that are including France, Spain, Italy, Belgium, and Germany somehow. Today we are the first port in Africa for 7th consecutive year, first port in the Mediterranean for 4 years now, and 4th most efficient container port in the world for the 2nd time in a row. Of course, a huge part of this success story is coming from the quality of our partners. We have in Tanger players such as Maersk Line, CMA CGM, Hapag-Lloyd, Conchip, of course, Eurogate, AP Motor. These are all major players around the world that just brought this know-how to the country. Building such port is something that everyone can do. You know, build a port is not rocket science. If you have the money, the engineering is available, and you can build a port. But putting a port on the map is another kind of story. How to convince big players to use your facility as a transshipment hub is another thing. You must build trust. And then you have some positive, let's say, accelerations in terms of local economy, because once you have the port and you have those companies that come into you, you just build something that you never had before, which is connectivity. Means that you can import raw material from everywhere in the world and then export finished goods to everywhere in the world. And you have direct connections with mother vessels. That means that you stretch, reduce a lot the transit time. If 10 or 15 years ago, bringing a container from China to Morocco should have taken something like 54 days, because we had to transship in a port in the Mediterranean or in North Europe. Today, it just takes 20 days to reach Tanger. 31 due to the issues we have today in the Suez Canal, so it's a little bit degrade our competitiveness in terms of logistics, but it's still shorter a lot than 54 days. And when you shorten the transit time, it's the same thing you make, the gain you make on the time to market, on the cash to cash cycle. So you just enhance your economic metrics, the economic metrics of your company from day one, thanks to a deep sea port that is connected worldwide. So Tanger just brought to Morocco a huge opportunity to become an industrial country, and it translated in 2012 in the first factory for making cars belonging to Renault, the alliance Renault-Nissan, that exported last year 569,000 new cars that have been produced in Morocco, followed by Stellantis, who built another factory with 200,000 cars capacity, and which is producing today for export. And today we are developing a full range of automotive ecosystem with Chinese companies, having our own ecosystem for batteries that starts exporting by end of this year, the beginning of February, next February, and that will also help Morocco to go to new generation car making using clean, electricity or clean energy to move. How much time do I get?
I had a lot of questions for you, but I cannot pause. So you have 2 minutes more. That's also
okay. So speaking about being the gateway to Africa, on the 8.6 million TEUs that we managed to handle in the terminals last year, 30% of it is coming from Africa or going to Africa. This is why we say today Tanger is a real gateway to Africa. So we are speaking about something like 3 million TEUs, 20 equivalent unit containers, that are using Tanger as a platform to get into Africa. And I'm sorry for other ports, because we all managed to put the port in the center of the map to say we are in the center of the world. So we are not in the center of the world. We're not as old as Egypt. But we are really at the crossroad of major shipping lanes, north, south, and east, west. And we are a zero deviation port. means that if you have to cross the Strait of Gibraltar, there is no way to go further than a few miles from the port. So adding the port to the route costs zero for the shipping lines. So this is a huge advantage when we compare ourselves to other ports around in our perimeter of influence, speaking about the West Med. So Tanger Med today have this huge opportunity. We are a deep sea port, a real deep sea one. We can receive vessels up to 17.6 meters of draft. This helped a lot when the Suez Canal closed. We had the vessel that were bodybuilded. They had to go through the COG, the Cape of Good Hope. So they brought a lot more cargo that was supposed to be discharged in the other ports on the route. So it was a big advantage to be prepared to receive those bodybuilded vessels. So being a real deep sea port, capable of receiving vessels of that capacity, of that draft, was a big advantage. So I will not disclose any secrets saying that this is a huge growth this year compared to last year, but this is kind of opportunity. We are just waiting that things go back to their initial, to normal. I don't know what normal means anymore, because we are really living in a completely disruptive world. Every day I wake up with new data, and that we have to see if our resilient system will be capable of following up. We have new laws, new strategies, new whatever, name it, just name it. We had everything. I mean, but the ports have really a good position because we just seen with absolutely no intelligence from our side, just seen that the hub concept flipped from east to west to a hub from from west to east. So this is just a consequence. I mean, we have no, let's say, merit on that. But it's still a good news for us.
But the time is finished.
Okay, so
no.
5 slides to go. Okay, so I need also to speak about what just have been built around the port. Nothing of these areas, industrial areas, was existing before. So it's just a direct consequence of being really connected to the world. So when an operator, let's say Magnetti Marelli, choose to go to a country, they are just comparing us with Romania, with Tunisia, with a bunch of countries that can offer the same, let's say, incentives, the same conditions, and the same facilitation to start a business. But when they are comparing, one of the major, let's say, indicators that they are looking to is the inventory days. I mean, if I am connected and I have reliability, transparency, and efficiency, predictability, means that I know that I have to store, let's say, the spare parts for 7 days. 7 days of spare parts is a huge amount of money when we are speaking about an automotive or a factory, a car plant. If I have one additional day, it starts to become billions of dollars of investment. So when you reduce the transit time and you manage to give to people reliability and predictability, they choose to come to your port even if you are a lot more expensive than other ports. So we are not attractive because we are a low-cost location. We are not low-cost at all. We are exactly at the same rate as Algeciras in terms of handling costs or in terms of port dues or whatsoever, just name it. But what these guys are valuing really is this. Okay? Thank you.
Now we really have to finish. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.